I'm the chair of the Planetary Restoration Action Group, PRAG. Our mission is to identify and promote means to restore the planet to a safe, sustainable, biodiverse, and productive state. The climate orthodoxy assumes that the best that can be done for climate safety is to drastically reduce emissions. But the current trajectory is towards 4C by 2100, according to climate guru James Hansen, or worse if the level of SO2 is further reduced. See brown curves on the diagram. A target of keeping below 1.5C was set at the Paris COP for avoiding tipping point catastrophe. It was not pointed out that several tipping point processes in the Arctic are active and were activated decades ago. These processes will almost certainly lead to catastrophic changes to the planet's climate system and sea level without some kind of cooling intervention to bring down the Arctic temperature and effectively refreeze the Arctic. Next. Least appreciated of the tipping points is the Northern Hemisphere climate system, comprising 3 bands of weather systems held in place by the temperature gradient between Arctic and tropics. The boundary between these bands is marked by jet streams in patterns called Rossby waves. The Rossby waves are driven eastward around the planet by the energy generated by the product of temperature gradient and planetary rotation. Next. The effect of rapid Arctic warming is to reduce the temperature gradient and hence the energy driving the Rossby waves around the planet. Thus, the waves become lazier and get stuck in position for longer and longer periods, producing weather extremes, heat waves, droughts, flooding, etc. This acceleration in extremes has been observed over the past 2 or 3 decades. It has been aggravated by global warming, but the main driver is rapid Arctic warming. The image you see shows the polar jet stream in a number 5 configuration. Colder areas extending from the north, shown in blue, alternate with warmer areas extending from the south. Such a configuration can stick from moving eastwards for a month or more. Heat then builds up within the warmer areas. This can lead to temperature extremes and wildfires, as happened recently. A number 5 configuration led to 5 areas of the world suffering extreme heat. Next. Millions of people are already suffering from weather extremes. The trend is towards certain regions of the world becoming uninhabitable due to the persistence of certain weather conditions, particularly excessive heat or drought, even in the USA. This is tantamount to abrupt climate change in these regions. Furthermore, the likelihood of basic food crops failing is increased, leading to major food security issues for the world. This is the essence of the current climate crisis. To reverse the trend towards ever more extreme weather and abrupt climate change, it is necessary to lower the Arctic temperature, see blue curve, and the global temperature, see purple curve. Together with carbon dioxide removal by enhancing life in soils and ocean, see red curve, it should be possible to return the planet to a safe, sustainable, biodiverse and productive state, such as persisted in the late Holocene, with the global mean temperature below 0.5 C. Next. To lower the Arctic temperature requires both, 1, breaking the vicious cycle of warming and melting known as albedo positive feedback, and 2, cooling the surface of the ocean water entering Arctic. We have estimated that the cooling power to do this is in the range of 0.5 to 1 petawatts at present, but it will be rising due to 1, continued loss of albedo as snow and ice cover continue to retreat, and 2, increasing surface temperature of the ocean water entering the Arctic. Next. Our major finding is that only stratospheric aerosol injection has the cooling power necessary to refreeze the Arctic. Research suggests that the widespread fear of SAI is completely unfounded, and SAI could be deployed with minimal risks from adverse effects. SAI deployment needs to start as soon as possible because of the rising heat in the Arctic and the risk of tipping point processes becoming irreversible with catastrophic climate change inevitable. The window of opportunity for lowering temperatures everywhere and returning the planet to a safe, sustainable, biodiverse, and productive state is closing. But isn't this restoration what we want for our children and grandchildren?